Hello and welcome to this edition of Washington Demon Coaches Show. I'm your friendly neighborhood host, Todd Patterson. Today we're joined in the studio, as always, by Mr. Brent Van Weelden, and he's actually going to have the whole show today, it sounds like. So we're going to be talking about boys wrestling, which Mr. Van Weelden coaches. So it really is the Patterson Van Weelden Power Hour today. It's the first time it's really been eponymous, as they say.
Okay. You got me on that one. I'll give you that.
Sorry, I've got a proclivity towards being a vocabulary.
Did you win any spelling bees in your day or anything?
No, we had this kid in our class named Sean Shemansky. He could spell everything, including, by the way, his last name, which no one else could figure out. But so I digress.
All right.
We're also joined by one of the senior boys wrestlers, Jack Kleese. Jack's going to talk to us all about weight management and wrestling and how that works over the holidays. And I know it's one of the worst parts of wrestling, or at least it was for me.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So, Brent, we've been off for a couple weeks. I don't know about you, but I feel a little foggy from it. I was sick most of the time, and kind of forgot all the things that happened over the last, right before break. Maybe you don't know them either.
Oh, I remember some of them. Don't ask anything specific. I can be pretty general.
Well, I remember we played it. The Fort Madison game was the last thing I remember for boys basketball, because I got to be the PA announcer.
Right. Thank you very much for doing that.
Yeah, I mean, $10 is $10.
You bet.
So I'm doing it again tomorrow.
Are you?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Do you still get $10, or do you get 10 a game?
You'll get more than that. You'll do 2 games, so you'll actually get, I think it's 25.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you get a $5 increase. $5 increase.
Oh, that's the meal stipend. So
there you go.
Yeah, it's going to bump my.
There you go.
Affect my taxes, I think. All right. So sorry, I digress yet again. Here we go. All right.
Yes.
So let's talk about kind of what the first half and where kind of things sit now and activities that are going on.
Yeah, so, over break, I got an opportunity to visit with some of the coaches or the basketball coaches, and, when they practiced during the day and just, they were in there working hard. And I think both coaches, Coach Rugg and Coach Stark, are pretty happy with where they're at. Obviously, things could have gone better. In some games, you maybe won a couple games back, but I believe the boys are sitting 3-1 in the league right now. Losing to Mount Pleasant, who they're in a tie with for first place with Burlington. Is that what you said?
It's a three-way tie.
It's a three-way tie.
And I actually think if we win out, we would win. So that's kind of, I think, the goal.
Yeah.
Of the boys basketball is to win out in the conference.
Our conference has been pretty competitive the last few years. I don't know if any teams actually run the whole slate. Have they been 10-0 and been the champs? I think like last year we lost a couple, but
maybe one.
Yeah.
I don't recall. There was one year we had a tie with Burlington, I think, for the championship. But I think the other 2 years we were alone. I don't remember how many games we lost, but I think we were the only. Yeah, we weren't co-champs.
Right, that's right.
Just 1 year.
Yeah. So like we won it last year, and then I think we were contending with Burlington, and then they made it to the state tournament in 4A.
Yeah.
So very competitive. And on the other side, the girls are 2-2 right now. And as we were talking about before we went on the air, that they had a couple injuries the last couple games, and really I'd say affected the outcome. We had a couple pivotal players that weren't able to play for whatever reason, but they're back to full strength now, and I think they're both real excited to get going tomorrow night. We host Fairfield again tomorrow night. Double headers. I guess it's a 5-banger. We got 5 games, 3 in the main gym, 2 in the auxiliary gym, so it'll be a busy night.
Yeah.
In Washington.
It's not going to be for the faint of heart if you're a PA announcer. Would you agree with that?
You're going to need a couple bottles of water.
Don't worry, I've got some tricks up my sleeve. I've been working on some signature calls.
Okay.
So yeah, they're not all in English.
Oh, really?
Yes, they are. They're all
Okay.
English. I don't know. I haven't actually been working on signature
No.
calls.
Well, you have to have something to go by that someone says, well, he's the guy that does this.
I watched at the Iowa wrestling meet. The guy does a pretty good job when you get a takedown or something.
Yeah.
Spencer Lee.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of cool.
Did you see that match with him and Drake Ayala?
Yeah, I got a little chippy, didn't
Yeah. I asked about that, and apparently, this is all hearsay, so don't.
You mean you weren't on the mat
didn't
with
hear
them?
this. I wasn't there. But apparently, Spencer didn't see a reason for them to wrestle since they were teammates. And Drake
Insisted on
thought
it.
that he was there to compete. So,
I got respect for it, and
Yeah.
Spencer did what he took care of business
Yeah.
pretty quickly.
yeah, so they're both pretty good. I think Drake beat the highly ranked kid to even get to the finals. So,
I'm sort of surprised he didn't move up to 133, actually, but
well, he's redshirted this year.
so I bet next year I'll be 133.
Yeah, who knows?
Speaking of wrestling,
Yeah.
how are the girls doing?
They're doing well. They got a big meet tomorrow night at Highland, but right before break, we went to Liberty. Tegan placed second, and she's I think 16-3 on the season
Nice.
right now. She was knocked off. I don't know if she was knocked. She was beaten by the number 1 ranked girl at her weight from Southeast Polk. So we're fortunate that the girls' coaches around the state have traveled well. It's not a small trip from
Southeast
Pleasant Hill,
right.
Iowa, clear to Liberty, Iowa. So it's nice that we're getting to see different competition at the different events we go to. And I had a talk with Tegan just this morning that the more competition you get between now and regionals, the better. So she's wrestling real well, and the other girls are coming along as well. But like I said, they have a big tournament at Highland on Friday, and then the boys go there on Saturday. So things are going well for them. The boys, we have a meet tonight at Fort Madison, which will be fun. I think we talked a little bit about it, practice last night, that if we can go there and see that they're visibly not happy with the way things are going, that'll be successful. We'll have some opens and they won't. So I think we can win the duel, but it'll be tough. But I think it'll be really, really, really close. So it'll be fun.
Cool. So we got some bowling going on.
Bowling has a meet right now. They're in Mount Pleasant bowling right now, and then they go to L&M this weekend. So this Saturday is very, very busy. We got a lot of games, a lot of tournaments. Honor Band has a competition in Fairfield this weekend. Southeast Iowa Honor Band.
That's SEBA.
There you go. Yep. And then
I was not allowed to play in that.
I never played an instrument. Never. I didn't even play the tonette. Well, back in the day, we called it the tonette back in 3rd or 4th grade. Yeah. Stayed in
pretty
study hall
popular
instead.
instrument these days. The tonette.
Well, everybody started on the tonette, didn't
Did they? Or the harpsichord, like Beethoven's times, right?
Nah, I don't know.
That was a big one.
Yeah.
Oh.
Anyway, so
let's get back to sports.
Middle school, they have a choir concert next week, so they're right back at it, and a lot of middle school sports are getting going. The 7th grade girls and the 8th grade boys have started practice, so they're the second half of the season, so they'll get their games rolling. And middle school has a wrestling meet on Tuesday of next week.
Is that home?
No, that's at Fairfield as well. So there's just tons and tons of stuff going right out of the gate. So it's fun, and it won't slow down for 2 months.
All right.
So.
Well, it's going to be great. I'm looking forward to calling the games tomorrow night. Calling who the fouls are on and who scored a basket. Anyway, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, I want to get some of your thoughts on some of the bowl games before we get Mr. Kleese up here.
All right. Sounds good.
We'll go to break. Be right back.
Since 1905, Kelowna Cooperative Technology Company has helped our communities stay connected with the latest advancements in clear, dependable telecommunications services. KCTC provides rural Iowans with access to high-speed fiber internet, as well as phone, television, computer repair, and cybersecurity solutions. We're also proud supporters of local organizations and area schools within the community. KCTC, keeping Kelowna connected.
Federation Bank is a locally owned bank providing award-winning customer service. We believe that we are more than just a federation of banks, but a federation of communities, serving Brighton, Richland, Wellman, and Washington, Iowa. Federation Bank's highly skilled staff is here to make sure you are able to accomplish your personal and professional goals, whatever they may be. Federation Bank, your family bank.
At the Capper Auto Group, we put our customers' needs first and understand that everyone is as different as the vehicle they select. We offer new Ford, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, and Ram vehicles in a friendly environment that puts you in the driver's seat. When it comes to service, we maintain factory-trained technicians and competitive pricing. The Capper Auto Group still believes that service after the sale provides the best customer experience. Come see the Capper experience for yourself.
Tammy takes the time and has the personal interest in each one of us. I don't worry about what's going to happen because I know my policy is taken care of.
She pulls what I need and puts it together, which is the program I get from her.
Every year she calls around September or so and says, there's changes again, and I'm going to do the best thing for you. It's been perfect. She does a great job.
Well, welcome back to the Washington Demon Coaches Show, or the Patterson, Van Weelden, Kleese half-hour power hour.
He gets his name in it already.
Well,
Wow.
I don't know.
You're
We'll
important.
see. We'll see how he does. So far, it's not looking great. I'm being honest with you. Before we left, we neglected to cover archery. So can we talk a little bit about what archery?
Just want to mention that real quick. They have a tournament at Center Point, Urbana this weekend, and they've done extremely well. They've won some tournaments and won our own tournament. And we talked about it. Jonathan Moore is going to is going to go shoot archery in college. So it's kind of crazy how kids can get scholarships and everything.
That's
now.
fantastic.
So
we've always, it seems to me like from periphery, we've always had a really strong archery program.
They've done extremely well. So
I'm sure it's a lot of hard work. I want to get your thoughts on a couple of things related to the bowl game. So, Jack, go ahead and jump in if you have some thoughts about. You a football fan?
Nah.
Okay, well that's. I think we'll take the name off.
reminds me of Major League, the color guy.
Just a bit outside. All right. Well, what'd you think of the Hawkeyes game?
Well, it was pretty typical. The thing that strikes me, and it's not just the Hawkeye game, but you look at Jack Campbell.
All world.
Yeah, grew up in Iowa, Cedar Falls.
Uh-huh.
You look at Spencer, or not Spencer, the DeJean kid. What's his first name? Is it Spencer?
It's Cooper.
Cooper.
Yeah. Iowa kid. Yeah.
You look at the kid from Southeast Polk who had the other interception.
Yeah.
Iowa kid, and then the quarterback from TCU grew up in Council Bluffs.
Duggan, Max.
Council Bluffs, Max. So, there's a lot of high quality, kids that are doing extremely well that are coming from, I call it the Hawkeye State. So it's nice to see that too. It's nice to see that all those kids are making huge impacts at a high level.
Jack, what do you call the state?
Hawkeye State.
Attica. I wasn't sure.
So
at least you didn't say like the Cowboy State or the Sooners. So you got Oklahoma State, Dizer, Oklahoma?
Noah transferred to Iowa State. So
he did?
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Okay. All right.
You went to a wrestling camp in Okie State one year, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that was a bit of a non sequitur. We're back though.
Yeah. All right.
All right. So this is the fourth time this year that the Iowa defense has outscored the offense. So you have any hope for next year?
Well, it'll be interesting with the quarterback situation.
Yeah.
The Labus, is it Labus?
Labus. Yeah.
Labus. I thought he played a pretty good game. His numbers weren't anything great, kind of normal, but
well, the McNamara is coming next year from Michigan. I think that's his last name. So I don't think Labus is going to be playing.
Probably not much. So it'll be interesting to see if he jumps in the portal as well, because our two of them already have the two backups. So
I was pretty excited. Our punter decided to stay.
Yeah,
probably one of our most critical positions. He had a lot more playing time than some of our wide receivers.
Yeah, I don't know. Iowa's frustrating, but really with the game itself, it was pretty exciting.
Yeah, it was a good game. It wasn't a bad game.
Right.
Watching the defense play really, really well was fun. And, our offense, I suppose, they didn't do anything exciting, but kind of held serve. They didn't make any stupid turnovers or mistakes.
Right. They came out and did some crazy, some tight end screens, I guess, off the bat, and
then shut her down.
Yeah. And then, hey, we got the lead. Let's hand it off. So anyway.
All right. Well, so the big question I have, and Jack, I want you to weigh in on this too. The national championship game, which I don't know when it is. When is it, Nick?
Look that.
That's what you. That's why we have a producer, folks. Thank you. No, I'm just kidding.
Should be Monday.
I think it's Monday. Let's call it Monday. Who do you like?
It's Monday.
And so you can do it one of two ways. Just straight up, who do you think is going to win? But you should know that Georgia is favored with a 12.5 point spread. They're negative 12.5. So
I'll go Georgia then.
you're going to go Georgia?
You're going Georgia?
That's a huge spread.
That's a huge spread. I would take TCU with the spread.
I'm taking TCU.
It wouldn't surprise me if they didn't beat them outright.
If Georgia beat them outright?
No.
If you think TCU is going to beat them outright?
They could. Why shouldn't they? I mean,
I'm gonna say Georgia's going to win the game, but TCU will cover the spread.
See, if you look at the point spread, Georgia only beat Kentucky 16-6.
Mm-hmm.
We beat them 21-0. Yeah, there you go.
We should actually be in the national championship
Exactly.
game. All right. The over-under is 62. And by the way, I'm not encouraging you to gamble.
Yeah, don't gamble.
Yeah, don't gamble. But if you do, don't tell your parents about it. Over-under 62.
I know what you're going to say, so I'm going to go again. I'll say under.
You're going to say under?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going over. What do you think, Jack?
I'll go over.
Over? All right.
All right.
Jack and I are in the same boat for the over-under. You're up. You're going over too? Van Weelden and I are in the same boat for TCU covering the spread. So, all right. Well, we're joined by Jack Kleese. Jack, thanks for being here today. Mm-hmm. Why don't you give a shout out to your parents quick?
Amanda and Tim Kleese.
Oh, that's your parents?
I'm sure they're both working hard. They have no time to stop. And do they even know you're on this?
My mom does.
Your mom does. Okay.
I'm sure she's going to tell me she doesn't have any time to watch it. Jack, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, if you don't mind? Where do you go to school, etc.
I go to Washington. I do track, cross country, and wrestling this year. Been wrestling for a long time. I think 13 or 14 years. Yeah.
So I'll backtrack a little bit. How did your cross country season go? You guys had a great team this year.
Yeah, we had a really good team this year. I met all my goals, I guess.
So you PR'd and things like that? And
I was a little bit mad because my last meet, I was 20.1, so 0.2 off of sub 20.
One of your goals was sub 20?
Yeah.
That's when the vomit starts happening in major ways in cross country. So, all right. Well, one of the questions I've had for you, because I remember this as being kind of a terrible thing when I was in wrestling, and we'll come back to you a little bit too. But what's it like going through the holidays and trying to maintain your weight?
I struggle with weight normally, but the holidays are definitely a problem. Watching everybody eat at Christmas and Thanksgiving and not being able to is kind of tricky.
You got a lot of time to make up for it.
You didn't. Let's clear that you're not eating.
No. Just not as much.
Not eating as much as you would like. Yeah.
Not eating as much as we were.
I've watched him weigh in. He's still.
Well, and I guess we should clarify. The rules are really pretty tight compared to how they used to be. Like I used to have to sleep in front of the fireplace in plastics and not drink anything, for a week and a half, and then run constantly. So
yeah, we have descent plans now where you're only allowed to lose 1.5% of your body weight a week. So it's and if you break your descent plan, it starts over. You go right back to where you were. So it is more of a science now than what it was, back in the day when you and I wrestled. But and it's a lot safer. But the thing of it is, the kids have to control it a lot more, or they just we've had situations, not with Jack, I don't think, but where you just can't weigh them in.
Really?
Yeah, you can't wrestle them that night because it'll really mess up their descent plan. So.
Yeah. So, maybe we'll take a break and come back. We had another break to take. I want to ask about pound allowances and things like that, and I also want to just see how the wrestling season is going a little bit. And so, Amanda, if you're watching, I'm sure you're working hard.
Hospice isn't a place, it's a type of care that focuses on living. Servicing a 7-county area, the Hospice of Washington County staff of nurses, social work, hospice aides, spiritual and grief support, volunteers, music and massage therapists are able to provide free end-of-life care where the patient lives. We write wills, give consent for organ donation, but rarely is there a plan for what we would want the final phase of our lives. At Hospice of Washington County, we encourage our patients to be in charge of their healthcare decisions while maintaining quality of life.
Family owned and operated by Andy and Sarah Ross, Ross Auto has been your vehicle repair and maintenance headquarters since 1935. We specialize in all makes of cars and light-duty trucks. With our variety of available services, let us help you keep rolling and your vehicle operating efficiently. Services include general auto repair, alignments, brakes, fuel injection, and more. Schedule your appointment today at 319-653-5656. That's 319-653-5656.
All right, well, welcome back to the Patterson Van Weelden Power Hour. We've surgically removed Jack Kleese's name from the title. So I want to get back to wrestling a little bit. So why don't you tell me about the season so far, and what have you learned about your team?
Well, the season's gone pretty well. We've won, I think, 10 duels. Maybe we're 10-3 or something like that. 10-4, I'm not even sure, but we're 1-1 in the league. We have a meet tonight with Fort Madison, so we're pretty competitive. We've got some real good individuals. Unfortunately, we can't fill all the weight classes, so that doesn't help us in dual scores. But tournaments we've done extremely well. We got a lot of kids that have pretty good records, and it's going to be exciting to see how they finish up this year. But it's a lot of fun. Probably one of the things before break we went to Fort Madison for a 2-day tournament, and I got to spend the night. That one probably wasn't. We didn't get done wrestling until 10 or 10:30 that night, so they were in bed up early the next morning, so they didn't get to do a lot of swimming.
Weigh in the next day again?
Had to weigh in the next morning. We get to go to Corning later this month, so that'll be an overnighter for us. So that's always exciting for the guys to be able to do that and build some team camaraderie and stuff like that. Do some other things other than just wrestling. We actually, our last practice before break, we went. The YMCA was generous enough to open the pool for us, so we went and did some swimming and some cardio stuff in the pool. So things have gone well. Real happy with the way they're competing. I'm glad break is over. We're all back in the room again and getting after it.
Yeah.
So
what do you have coming up?
Like I said, tonight is Fort Madison. This Saturday is Highland for the boys, and then next Thursday we have Mount Pleasant at home, and the Southeast Iowa Union is going to be there, and they're going to be live streaming it for us, and I believe Sean Ellickson is going to be doing some play-by-play, so we're going to get some more coverage that way for the people to watch it live streamed with a little commentary. So it's great that people are excited to come and do that. It's not something that happens every day. So
yeah, well, he knows a lot about wrestling too.
Sean does, yeah. He's enjoying the heat of Florida right now. So Sean, we will welcome you back anytime. Come on back. So
I'm sure he's tuning. He'll probably be tuning in around 3.
Yeah. So things are going well.
One of the things I wanted to ask about weight management, Jack, is pound allowances over the holidays. How does that work?
After Christmas break, we get a 2-pound allowance off scratch if you made scratch before, right?
Right.
You have to have made weight somehow before.
Yeah, and then you get your 2 pounds, and then what's the limit? What's the most it can be?
Well, you could end up getting 2 extra, so you could be 4 over scratch at some time if you have multiple days. Like Corning, I mentioned earlier, we'll wrestle on Thursday, so they'll get another pound on Friday and then 2 more on Saturday. So in reality, you could be scratch plus 4.
That sounds glorious, doesn't it?
It does.
So, Jack, you mentioned some of the other sports you're doing, and you have track coming up then after this. How's your season going in wrestling right now?
Pretty good, I think. I've had some good matches, made weight every meet.
Yeah. I haven't seen you wrestle, at least, I've seen you wrestle, but I think you were about 30 pounds. So
Probably.
you're 100 pounds larger than. So when did you grow a lot? You were a pretty little guy for a while.
I went from 106 freshman year and then sophomore year, and then 126 my junior year, and 32 this year.
And now you're gonna be like 150 as soon as the wrestling season's over.
That's
right?
about right.
That's about right. That's great. So, how would you describe your wrestling style? You a pinner, leg rider? Don't tell me leg rider. That's just
No.
All right. You good on your feet? Good from on top?
I think I'm best on top.
Best on top?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what kind of serious stuff do you run? You're not a leg guy, are you?
Whatever he yells at me, basically.
Arm bars, you run just about anything, or tilts?
A lot of halves and just pretty basic stuff.
Yeah.
So have you had any matches this year that you were really, really excited about? You performed at a really high level, you really, anybody you beat that you're excited about?
Not that I can think of.
You had some really good matches at Fort Madison tournament. One of the things about that tournament was you're in a pool, and then
not a swimming pool.
No, in a pool of four people total, and he got through that pool. I think you're undefeated in pool play, right?
Yeah, no, I lost to Carlos the last match.
Oh yeah, you lost to
So
Carlos.
it's like a round robin,
Yeah,
and then you get
and actually that's probably one of the best matches he's wrestled against Carlos from Highland. He's a tough kid, and he was frustrated at the end of the match. So even though he didn't win, he wrestled a real good match, and
you probably cheated, right? Pull your headgear.
I think it ended up 2-0, didn't it? Something like that.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
But Jack, when Jack is ready to wrestle, his mind's there, focused. He's really good. There's been times where we've had conversations that he needed to be more focused. But Jack's been around for 4 years now in high school and has done a great job. He's been a varsity starter all 4 years. So, he's probably getting to the area. I don't know how many wins he has, but he's probably
getting to 100.
I don't know if he's going to get to 100, but he's probably 75, getting to 75, 80, probably in that area right now. So he's done a great job for us.
What do you think about your prospects for the rest of the season? And your goals?
I think I could do pretty good this season. My goal is to have a decent record, I'd like to have a winning record, hopefully.
Yeah.
But
Things would have to go really bad for him not to have a winning record
Well,
right now. So.
Saying that in live, whatever we're calling this,
Yeah.
probably not helping. So I'm knocking on wood for you.
Yeah.
Well, anything you want to add?
What are you doing next year?
Oh, yeah, sure.
I'm going to Kirkwood next year to study horticulture.
Horticulture. Very nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being here. I wish you the absolute best of luck in Russ. I'm going to get to some meets, or hopefully at least one, and then I'll definitely watch you during track. And so best of luck with the rest of your season, and 75 wins or 80 wins. That's pretty impressive.
Thank you.
I didn't have that. Not even in the room.
Right. Right.
Anything you want to add, Mr. Van Weelden?
No, it's just for the parents and the fans out there. Again, our first home event this I guess second half of the year. I guess, gosh, this goes fast. But our basketball teams are home against Fairfield tomorrow night, and the boys and girls are in the same location, so you get an opportunity to watch both teams and just come out and support our kids. They work extremely hard, and they enjoy big crowds, and hopefully the officiating is where it needs to be. I'm sure it will be, but just remember we want to be good sports about it.
Yes.
At all times.
I'm required to read some sort of disclaimer to that effect.
That's correct.
recall.
But just get out and support the kids, and they enjoy it, and they do appreciate it.
Well, the girls took care of business against Fairfield last time with, it seemed a little difficulty, but the boys' game was a barn burner.
Right.
And those guys have been playing against each other since they were little. So
Yeah.
there's respect, but not always. It gets a little chippy.
Right.
Not that I encourage it.
Well, I don't think a little chippiness is okay.
Little chippy's okay.
But
you don't want to get crunchy.
Right. There you go. Don't be crunchy.
All right. Well, with that, thank you guys for being here. I think we'll go ahead and sign off. Thank you for joining us on the Washington Demon Coaches Show, Wrestling Edition.